Now then, right, how are you? So before I say much, before I hit you with this gold, um, do tell me if you can hear me. I've got the weirdest setup here because I'm not in the office because I've got no internet. So I've got like everything crammed into a tiny screen. So just let me know if you can hear me, but I will waffle on before that. Like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And of course, check out onlinemagic.co. That's my online magic course, over 500, 600, 700 videos now, I think. And loads of cool stuff. And we had an amazing session with James Brown recently, which was just so good. It was it's nice. Thanks, Gary. Hope you're well. Looking forward to the juggling session later. We're going to... because Gary's a member of the course and he had a juggling question, so we're going to do that. The live sessions happen every week and are uploaded onto the course. I'm really hoarse, tremendously hoarse, and not feeling comfortable because I'm looking at my phone and you're down there. So, and looking at my own face, which is always a bit disturbing. So I'm going to do in this, do some comments on comments just off some of the other videos. When I did the giveaway of, and this we're going to find out who won it today, Lux and First Class. I was going to say, when I did that, I did a thing. I can't remember what I was going to say. That's annoying, isn't it? But anyway, but I'm going to say who's won that after. That was it. Loads of people asked loads of very cool questions. I'm going to go through those questions in the next few comments on comment sessions because I think there's some really, really good stuff there. And I get a lot of the same stuff, so we can kind of, if I answer one question, I think it's going to answer questions for a lot of you. If you have any questions now, put them in this chat. If you have any questions afterwards, put them in the comments once the video goes up and it's there, not live anymore. And if you're watching this after 5 o'clock UK time, it's not live anymore because some people can't say hello when it's already up there, and I feel really rude because I can't answer them. I'm not there anymore because time has passed, you see. So first of all, the giveaway is going to be, I've got another giveaway. I panicked because everything's in the office and I was going to look through stuff there to give away, but I found something. I'm going to give away at the end of this a quantum deck. I'm sure Craig Petty won't mind. I got a duplicate from Murphy's and Craig gave me one, and I'm still going to do some work on it. I really, really like the quantum deck. It's a, you know, I know there was all the hype and stuff like that, but I really think it's a solid piece of work. So, and there's so much you can do with it. And when he demmed it at the session, I just thought it was really, really strong. So I think it's one of those things that does live up to it, and sort of, I don't know where to look. Am I looking there? I'm looking there, aren't I? Oh, I hate using my phone. So Lux, you know, is one of those things again, you know, listen to the review and the live thing we did on it. Hey, Sandy, and Gary, and Terry, and Isaran, I think that's how you say it. But look at that, because I think there's some really good ideas, and the idea I came up with kind of like, oh, you know, showing the stuff not there and then putting the light on again and showing it there, I think could be so effective. So it's a versatile piece of kit, and I think there's lots to be done with it. So if you've won this, I'm not giving this away because it's rubbish. I think it's good, and I also think First Class is good. It's just I'm probably not going to use it because I haven't got any space left. Hello, Flipped Over Productions. How you doing? So we'll do a few comments. Do chip in with your comments on it. I'm not going to do loads, and I'm kind of using, I haven't even got a mouse, so it might be all over the place. Hey Tom, how you doing? How was it in San Francisco? Right, so I'm gonna, there was a couple of comments, I think. Let me just see. Oh no. Hang on, I've got to move things around. This is terrible. All right. Let's go with some in, oh, shush, Stephen. I'm just finding it very difficult to open the comments. Oh, bear with me, bear with me. Oh, here we go. It's because I've got to explain it. So let me just start again. Talk amongst yourselves. I did that sort of rambly one in my office beforehand, and Tom said I'd watch you read the telephone book. I wish everybody felt that way. No, Chris says, now well and truly in my 50s, I can't store stuff in my head like I used to. Tricks have to be brushed up. I was talking about practice and kind of brushing up on tricks and the fact that they don't stay in. And I've found this with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have like I suppose, an encyclopedic knowledge, and we get the impression that they're holding hundreds and hundreds of tricks. But most people I know learn a few, and then when they start learning other ones, they kind of go, I think that's really normal. And I, for a while, thought, it's just a problem I've got. What's really interesting, that when I was in Portugal, I was kind of doing some stuff out there with teaching magic, and it's amazing how much you don't know that you know. Like somebody said to me, "Oh, you've got encyclopedic knowledge of magic," and I don't feel like that. I feel like I know so little, and I suppose I do. The percentage of stuff that there is to know always makes you feel like you don't know much. But it's like music. Magic is so vast that you can't know it all. So I think that all that knowledge that we kind of pick up over the years gets stored somewhere subconsciously, and when we need it, it kind of gets drawn upon. And it was amazing how this stuff just popped up when I was asked certain questions. So I think that a lot of you probably know a lot more than you do, and I don't think it's about knowing hundreds of different routines. I think it's about knowing the concepts and the fundamentals and the moves, so you can share those, and why not they might not work. Why anyway, that thing that I just tried to say. Let me just see. I like these rants. People saying they like the ranty ones. And by rants, it's not like me ranting badly about stuff. It's me just waffling on. A bit like this, but with a phone. There we go. Galaxy Captain said, "Hello, Steve. I've always enjoyed your reviews, but why do you seem so nervous? Understand moving can be challenging, but it all work out." Yeah, I mean, I wasn't nervous doing this. I was kind of a little bit overwhelmed, might be, which is what I am quite often. My brain, gets quite overwhelmed with stuff, even when it's not a kind of nervousness. So I totally get that. And that's the thing I like about doing more honest, kind of rambly videos, because you see someone in their natural state. And I think one of the problems with magic, as is with leadership and the other stuff work I do, we see kind of the polished version of someone, and if we think that's their norm, then we feel more lonely and isolated when we feel kind of insecure and things like that. And I think it's important to see that we are all human. We do get nervous. I don't know any performers that feel like they've completely nailed it, and I think it's an important thing for me to communicate. As someone who's just nailing it every time on stage, I'm really not. We're all kind of feeling, we have different emotions and insecurities about what we do, and I do find that most people get that kind of imposter syndrome or whatever. Anyway, so I'll do some comments on nostalgia, the Michel Uot trick that I did, which I thought was a really sweet, lovely thing. The price tag is holding me back. Stefan said, yeah, it's an expensive bit of kit. It was one of those things actually that I clicked on afterwards and I went, oh, that's quite expensive. And then you look what you get, and I suppose it's one of those things, it is only really built for stage or parlour, and those things do tend to cost a bit. I've got no real comment on price. I think with a routine, if you look at it and go, I'm definitely going to use that, rather than what most of us do and go, I'm definitely going to use that, with an idea that we never will, but we just want it, I think it's worth it. I think anything that gives you stage time and a routine for a show, which I think this is worth it. And it's easy, and it's something that maybe you could open with, that you could kind of relax about, because there's no real sleight of hand in it. But I know what you mean. And yeah, Mexi said, I love the idea of it. I'm just stuck for a way to work into one of the routines, one of my show. Tom said, when you look into the viewer, does it make a 3D image? Yeah, so the viewer is one of those, I looked at this earlier, I never remember what they're actually called, but one of those clicky viewers, that's what they're called. Yeah, you do get the proper image in there, so that there is as it says, the nostalgia there. Tom said, a Viewmaster, boom, there it is. Tom said, I have one in 1958, Tom. You don't look old enough. You don't, especially now you've had your haircut. And then I was talking about Michel Uot's socks, which I think is one of the best things he's done. I think socks is such a great routine. Andrew said it had too much dealing. I don't think so. I think dealing can be part of it. It gives it a thing of fairness, where they tell you where to stop. But I think there are different ways of doing it. I think Craig Petty had a different take on it. If you didn't want that kind of stop force, which is what used. And to be honest, if I was doing it on, I don't know, a TV slot, not really loads of TV, but it makes me sound special, doesn't it? But if I was doing it on stage, or was doing it where I had to nail it, I'd be nervous about doing a stop force. I know some people do it and they're better at it than me, but I miss a fair bit with that sort of stuff. So I'll do a distancia. Distancia is one of those things, you know, I think it's such a great thing. It really does look magical. And, you know, the fact that that coin is floating on someone's hand with a glass over it, clearly no thread or loops or anything like that, is a really powerful thing and amazing for social media. I talked to someone who has a big social media following, who does it on social media and has done it, and I think it's perfect for that stuff where you just want to show the trick. And if you want a more kind of focused presentation, I think there's a lot to be done with it, but it is a kind of moment. And I do think the stuff in Distancia that isn't the standard routine I've been thinking about is really good, especially with a coin to glass. I think it's a really unique, lovely piece of magic. But again, it ain't cheap. I remember when David Copperfield did something very similar. It was awesome, yeah. That's from David Sharif. It's so powerful to make a coin rise underneath a glass from the leg. Not from the leg, but won't it also immediately get stuck? Yeah, well that sort of gives away a little bit of the thing, but no, it isn't, because of the distance you're away from it. So I think it's okay. So Mexi said, I'm sure most, if not all of us, know what this is. And you're right, Mexi, it's just like a weird thing for me. Even though it's obvious for us magicians, it's that thing that I don't like exposing even the obvious sometimes, which I just kind of have, but you know what I mean. I'm sure most of us know what this is, but I'll try and avoid reveals anyway. I think people who do already perform this type of thing are very unimpressed, but people who don't think it's earth-shattering. But that also includes most people you will perform to, so it's possibly a good option. I think original sources are the way to go, but if you want an effect in a box, which many do, this is an option. And I think, Maxi and everybody, when you're doing these kinds of effects, there is something, for someone like me who's quite clumsy, because of the thing you're using here, it's nice that it's packaged in that way. It kind of, I remember getting 2 of those things. It's so ridiculous, we all know what it is. And kind of a very strong one, just go with it, and broke it, because it kind of one went against the other, went and it just all broke in half. So I'm rubbish at dealing with these things, and you know, if it goes against the computer, it's going to knacker it. So I think you're right, but I think there is something, if you're going to take it and perform on stage, or take it and you know you're going to do it again, it's just nicely put together. Tom Rolfe, my comment is not specific to this trick, but rather the creator. If you find the previous trick poor quality, and if you ever do, you open up the purchasing from that. You never, yeah. So basically, Tom's saying, in the better way that Tom didn't write it like that. It wasn't messed like that. I just couldn't read it properly. So I think Tom's saying that he's had stuff from the French twins before that he didn't like, and therefore it left that bad taste. And I think that's so true. I think there's a little bit of forgiveness in me. You know, I get sent a lot of stuff, and I get sent stuff that's great, but it's not produced properly. And I think, okay, it's your first couple of things. It's not going to break the bank. I'll give you a chance. But then it's very, very easy for me to say, because I get the stuff for free. I think, you know, before you buy anything, especially if it's got a high price point, get on the forums. Be very careful, because a lot of people on the cafe and stuff are looking for problems. But you can learn to read between the lines. Basically, if it's made well, listen to people who have actually performed it, not that have just got it. You know, you can't really make a judgment on this unless you've at least played with it. Now, I hadn't performed it, but I had kind of played with it. I showed a couple of people, but I hadn't, you know, properly taken it out. So I knew it could work. I kind of knew it was fine. But yeah, and I know a lot of people have performed this, so you should be able to find those kind of practical things. Is it going to work properly? Is the thing you want to know. If it does the effect it's meant to do, great. And I think that's it for comments. I think I'm not going to do loads. I'm going to answer the question that the winner, because I have already picked the winner of Lux and First Class got. I'll get that to you as soon as I can. It'll be about 3 weeks. But who's going to win the Quantum deck? Thank you, Murphy's Magic, for sending it to me. Thank you, Craig, for giving me one of these. Like I said, it's a what's it called? Duplicate. So I've got more than one. So I'm not giving it away again because I don't know. I do actually am looking forward to playing with it. I do want to say, if you win and you've already got one, yes, you could sell it, I suppose. But I would say maybe tell me, and we'll give someone else a chance to get it. You know, I'm not going to I'm not going to draw out this today. I'm going to draw out the other one. I have done already. Okay, so let me just go to comments. What have you missed, John? Nothing, mate. Right. Do you know about the new book from Peter Turner? No, Chris. I don't know anything. I've spoiled those before. People. It's the one thing I haven't got much knowledge of, what's coming out, which for a reviewer is problematic, isn't it? I was talking to someone about this the other day, that because I get something to review and learn it and actually spend time with it, I miss a whole load of stuff. So it's great that you let me know about these things. No idea how Craig, but he does it. Yeah, Craig knows a lot of stuff, doesn't he? He's got that real... But don't forget, and I'm not saying Craig doesn't know this, don't forget that when you see people perform stuff, like I do it, you know, when I'm doing my course, I'm doing this whole course on the Royal Road to Card Magic. And each chapter I have to learn the tricks in that. So when you watch that, if I was to post them, you'd think they were part of my repertoire. And I'm not, you know, I've got a lot in my actual work that I do that I remember because I perform it. But if I don't actually perform it, I record it, I learn it for the course, and then within weeks it's gone, you know. So to go back to that and learn all that stuff would be a refresher because I've kind of practiced it. But yeah, and I'm sure Craig's got a load of stuff he performs, but the stuff he kind of goes in and he looks at on the channel and performs, I presume, you know, that all doesn't stay. But he really knows his stuff. I just learned about the Touch Force by Gary Lett and referenced in 52 Memories. Love it. Having problems with a master push-off by Andy Gladwin. Dell, everybody has, I'll put that there because I keep forgetting to do that. Everybody has problems with a master push-off because it's really hard. What I will say about the master push-off is that, or any two-card push-off, Andy talks about very specifically the part of your thumb you do it. But do understand that when you learn anything, you need to adapt it for your... So I've got really porky thumbs, right? So why won't that go to crop and overlay? I don't want to do that. Oh gosh, what things are happening here? It's telling me things, hang on. Well, that's going to stay there forever, I think. Look, oh, it's because it's big. I'm just going to get rid of it. Get a drift. There we go. Sorry, Dale. Yeah, so adapt it. So master push off for me needs to use a slightly different part of the thumb because my thumbs here they're like little hobbit thumbs. You know, they're kind of... So I can't do it that bit. I have to kind of, but find that place that works for you, that feels right, and understand it is going to take a lot of time. It's it became easier for me when I did adapt it, and I pushed off from a slightly different part of the thumb, and it kind of became more consistent. Sir, I'm late. Don't have to apologise, but do please bring a note next time. And again, Pete, you ain't missed nothing, mate. You got an hour. Oh, you're not coming tonight, I don't think. But it will get keep working on it. Jay Ezra says, and it's not just you, Jay, at all. Peter Turner's new book is called Attic Salt, coming out any day now on MindFX. Yep, check that out. It's going to be good, isn't it? I haven't read it and I haven't got it, but I'm sure it will. He's got some good stuff. No worries, Dale. Right, I think that's it. I think I'm going to go now and prepare for the live session for the course on the same setup, so it should be fun. And if you've got any questions... Oh, giveaway, sorry. Oh dear, Stephen. I always forget. Right, here's the winner. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm going to read the question. The winner is, funny enough, it just popped up and said thing, but Luxem First Class is Gideon. Gideon, you've won it, which is really funny because you just said only just got on, which is almost like we set up. He didn't know. I swear, he didn't know. This is a commentpicker.com. This is, I just put it in there and it pops it up. So there's genuinely it's completely random. And his question was great as usual, Steve. That's nice, isn't it? My question would be, because everybody has to ask questions if you didn't know, random questions. If you could change one thing about yourself or your performance, what would it be? Well, change a thing about myself, how long you got? You know, I could write a book on it. Everything, pretty much. Far too emotional, cry at the drop of a hat when I watch films, and live my life a little bit too isolated. and I'm a bit too much of a perfectionist. Other than that, loads of other stuff. About my performance, I think I wish I could rehearse more. I'm not good at rehearsing. I've really struggled with it. And apparently this is something, ADHD, if you look at the symptoms, that thing of kind of running through something that's slightly boring, I just find it nauseating. I do it, but it's incredibly hard for me. So I think if I just could write and stick to scripts, I find it incredibly difficult to learn a script. My performance would be a lot more concise. Now, over years, it's become a little bit more concise, but you may guess that it is also a bit rambly. I do tend to waffle on, and some people love it, but it's hard for me to stick to times. It's taken me a lot of work to be able to do that. So there you go. So good. Send me your address, email it steve@onlinemagic.co. Everybody else, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, like I said. Hit the little bell icon, because there are a few times when I can't do the Thursday sessions. Next week should be okay, but keep an eye on it. And if you could share this, just tell people about this channel, it'd be lovely. And as I said, go and check out onlinemagic.co. Thanks very much. Right, I've got to do this manually now. See you later. Have a great one. Oh, hang on, what's this? No, I'm not doing it. I just end up coming back. See you later. Bye.